Good day, my friends. My name is Tracy Repchuk, and I'm the host of Reach Millions TV, an entrepreneurial lifestyle and learning channel where I will educate and introduce you to some of the greatest powerhouses in their fields. As an entrepreneur for over 37 years, I've had the good fortune to appear in Forbes over 27 times, speak in 39 countries, appeared on NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, won awards from the Senate, the Assembly, the White House, and President Obama, written 9 #1 bestsellers, and from that journey, I reached millions with my message. So I wanted to show you and introduce you to the people that can help you to find more leads, make more sales, and reach millions with your message. You can find out more about me at tracyrepchuk.com and reachmillionsacademy.com. And today we have the exciting topic of a joint venture mastery. So first of all, what is a joint venture? So a joint venture, often called JV, is when two or more people or companies get together to undertake an economic activity. So it can stem from a natural product or service similarity that each can see makes a good fit for what you are already doing. So there's no strict formula for doing a joint venture. It is totally flexible and open to possibilities. It is a mutual agreement between two people where one is usually the recommender and the other is selling their products. The sharing distribution is then determined by both parties for that ultimate outcome, which is win-win for everyone. Now, the best part about getting into a joint venture is it is the fastest way to grow your list for little or no money, not to mention the possibility of making an incredible income from that relationship. So how does it get started? So it starts off that someone, has a product or service and someone else has a list of possible purchasers, and together they can share in the profits. Now, if you have a product that is ready or a list that is waiting, joint ventures are a fantastic and economical way to accelerate sales. Now, the best thing about a JV relationship is that once you've partnered with someone, if that venture is successful, they will be very open to doing it again. And then you have a partner for life in which you can mutually grow. And then now you need to start on that journey on how to find them. So let's talk about the benefits. First, access to new audiences. Businesses can tap into their partners' knowledge, their networks, their resources in order to reach customers and establish a presence in unfamiliar territories. It's shared resources and expertise. You can pool your resources, including capital, technology, intellectual property, and human resources. Increased market power. So you can strengthen a market presence. You can negotiate better deals with suppliers and customers and potentially compete more effectively against larger competitors. It gives you improved profitability and market share. It's a great way to do cost savings through economies of scale and scope with cost reduction. And you can learn and transfer knowledge. So this is an exchange of ideas, best practices, and expertise. And best of all, it can lead to that income influx where a recommendation to another's audience can result in massive sales. This is really the primary use for it in that, one guy has the product, one guy has the list. The product owner approaches the list owner and says, hey, let's take a look at, what opportunities could arise if you were to recommend my program. And the beautiful part is success breeds more opportunity. When you get one joint venture partner and you have statistics and conversions to share with someone else, that then leads to somebody else saying, oh, wow, well, if they knocked it out of the park, I'd like to join too. And what are some successful actions when entering into the field of joint ventures? The first is, and how you approach everybody is, what can I do for you, right? And then you do it. and you do it again, and you keep doing it until one day they say, hey, what are you up to, by the way? Do you need any help with anything? And that's where you open it up and say, well, you know what? I have an amazing product I think your audience would massively benefit from. Okay, those are the words. You want to always be in that languaging. So the thing is, you want to build a relationship first. You want to offer your help. And then if you can, be a joint venture partner for their products first. Because if you sell well for them, they not only will notice you, but often it starts to activate that reciprocity where they're like, oh, okay, this was super, is there anything I can do for you? Yeah. Is it possible that we do this to your list with my product? When you think along the lines of what's in it for me, which is the angle that, of course, a partner is always thinking from, then you should be successful because you'll be constantly framing and setting it up for their success. All right, so what are 6 things you should do before venturing in? The first is you want to write down your goals and your desired outcome. So when you're putting together that launch campaign, you need to know for yourself and those involved what you want and what you think you'll get. This also lets others know that you have done your homework and you have procedures in place to track and measure statistics. In joint venture partnerships, that is a very key factor. The second is you need to know your target market. If you don't have an answer to this question, not many experienced joint venture partners will even look at it. If you don't know exactly who you're targeting, what their buying habits are, who their competition is, where you can find them, they're not going to be interested in handing their list over to you for a few possible dollars. And you have to know at least this so they can make a decision based on whether it is worth it. And from your perspective, you need to know your target market because you need to know who to approach as a joint venture partner. You're not, if your target market is women, for example, age 40 and up, you're not going to approach a joint venture partner whose entire database is composed of men. Then you want to do a test first. This is very important because when you approach an experienced JV, they want to know a few things. And that is, what is your conversion rate for the email promo and the sales letter? So you should have already have tested the market with your long sales copy, that copy that's going to sell it for you for your product. And you should have seen decent conversions in your sales. And places that you can leverage to test this is you need to drive an AdWords, a Google AdWords, or a Facebook campaign over a 3-day period to test the entire funnel. That's if you don't have your own list to launch to, that of course you could be the sample for. And then you want to do a webinar. And if you do have your own list, send to that and promote live on the webinar and see what those conversions are, because that is what they're going to be seeking. Now, one of the things that joint venture partners love are incentives. So the best programs out there, of course, they have added benefits and goodies that aren't money related. For example, let's say in a joint venture relationship, you get 50% of the sale. So yay, that's to them, they're getting that money. But what they love is competition. And so you can get sophisticated if you want and have JV tracking boards, and the first person gets a car and a car lease, and the second, they get PlayStations or plasma TVs or trips, or even just, $50 Amazon gift certificates. To restaurants, bookstores, all of those types of things. People love to play for something else. And again, today, the game is even more aggressive. Again, joint venture partners are competitive, right? And even though you're going to be perhaps out of pocket for some expenses, In the long run, you will be highly rewarded with sales, traffic, an instant database of subscribers, and very happy partners for a future project. When this is done right, this can solidify your place to ask almost any time again in the future. Now, you have to have a system in place to monitor the results. So this is an activity that requires a system. You're going to be monitoring possibly many people, keeping on top of them, in touch with them, cheering them on, checking in, and at some point paying them. That's when you're doing that competitive joint venture all-in type of scenario. Now, even though if you're going to use a system such as ClickBank to distribute the money and things, you have to have a system to still coordinate and get that communication in place. In many cases, joint venture partners will often say, yes, I'll promote, and then they get busy, they don't, etc. So this is where that communication system will come in handy. And you want to start to build your JV list early and nurture it often, of course, with some sort of autoresponder type system. Then you want to have an agreement ready. This is the thing that kind of joint venture partners want to know. And it doesn't have to be complicated. They just need to know exactly what is going to happen, right? So again, if you're using ClickBank, that's a different scenario. They simply go, they get their affiliate link. You don't need to worry about anything. All right. It's already there. All the details are written out for them. Other than that, though, you want to have something in writing that lets them know what percent they're getting, which is often 50 and 60%. How are you going to pay them? Let's say you're leveraging PayPal. And when are you going to pay them? Is it 30 days after the event, 10 days after the event, that type of thing? And you want to plan those properly because you want to ensure you do not pay out a joint venture partner and then a refund comes in place. So you want to take a look at whatever your refund policy is, that the payment happens after that. Now we want the successful joint venture. So we're going to take a look at 7 steps. The first one is start with one joint venture partner, nurture and repeat. All right. So you want to get the whole system built before you start to play the bigger game of, hey, come on in, 10 joint venture partners, and let's have a competition at this. All right. So you want to focus on the joint venture partner in front of you, but you also want to keep on looking for the more. You don't want to put your eggs all in one basket. You want to continue to seek out new ways to create income and grow your network. And again, the bottom line is many a great thing has happened with just a few people. If you had 5 kind of super connected joint venture partners, that could set you up for every single launch that you're doing. The second is you want to make sure your product is ready for a free review. So, for example, it's high quality. They want to know you're not wasting their time. If you do that, if you ever approach a joint venture partner and your product's not ready for them to look at, details aren't there, they're just going to immediately say no, and they won't look at you again. You have one shot to really impress them that you're ready. Everything's, smoking hot. When they go and review your product, the back end is super. It's straightforward. Everybody loves it because that community is actually very small and everybody talks to each other. And then you want to make it easy that they can log in, review, take a look at everything, and then decide. Once the offer is accepted, you want to work out that commission. So generally, they do want to know this often before they even review it because, they want to, of course, make some great profit on this. The price of your product will determine the margin in most cases. So if you have a higher price item, they'll be looking for around 40% commission. So let's say it's a $2,000 item and up. If it's lower, let's say, $497, then they'll be looking at 50%. or sometimes even more. I've known people to go as high as 80%, giving them that, because their goal, and remember, if we go back to the beginning of what do you really want out of this, their goal wasn't necessarily that income. Their goal was the list. They wanted this entire list of buyers that they now have that they can turn around and sell something even more expensive to. So this is why you really want to think long-term. You're getting buyers and a list that you would not have had. If you think about the money you could spend on Facebook and all of these other methods to accumulate and build your list, this can be a very cost-effective way to do that. You want to treat your joint venture partner like the gold that they are. So, because together, you're going to be building that financial windfall, and you'll want to continuously express your appreciation for their efforts, even if you know all they're doing is pushing a button and the email goes out that you built. They are gold. Their value comes from that list that they have built and nurtured for who knows how long. So that makes them the gatekeeper. And again, it goes back to as well, if you don't do that, and they don't enjoy the experience, even if they made a massive profit, they may not do another with you. And you always want to be thinking long-term and reciprocity. So you want to express, any additional things, and you will have the option to email to your list once it is built. And then even though you're giving them a hefty commission for their finger push, without them, there is no one to target, right? And they could take you literally from 0 to 1,000 in 4 seconds flat. And any other perks you can think of, add them. You want to make this a no-brainer yes, because they're going to be having hundreds of people approach them all the time around the clock saying, I got an awesome product, you should sell it. You want to make it easy for them to do and have all the materials pre-done. So the simpler you make this, the simpler it is for them to make money. Then they're going to be really happy and more receptive the next time that you approach them. And they're also going to be more likely to do it as in that review stage. They're going to be saying, okay, what banners do you have? What emails do you have? What's the conversion rate on those emails? What's your sales page look like? What's the conversion rate on that? They're going to want to see everything is ready. All they have to do is take this email and push it into their system. If you make it more complicated than that, you could absolutely lose them. And then upon completion, you want to make the payment quick and as kind of easy as possible. You want to also send a personalized thank you note, whether it be a handwritten card. There's great services online, such as Send Out Cards, where you can just send a card, didn't even have to leave your office, and people appreciate things like that. Personalization is the key here. You can call them directly and say thank you. You absolutely want to do this because yes, twice is always better than once. And ask them if it is okay if you keep them as a contact and give them a call once in a while with an open invitation for them to, of course, call and email you for continued relationship development. Now, where are you going to go find those joint venture partners? So first of all, you just need to ask, right? So what's going to happen though, let's say you know somebody is a potential partner, then you have to be ready with the product, the sales letter, and that conversion rate. Do not approach somebody and say, hey, I'm thinking about creating a product that does blah, blah, blah. Would you be a joint venture partner for it if that was, if I did that? It's way too wishy-washy. They need concrete things. They need to know, hey, I have an email of 10,000 people. My email converts at 20%. Your product costs blah. I get 50% of that. Here's what I could make with a button push. That's what they want to know. So this is something, of course, for you to use when you're pitching to possible JV partners, because they will not expose their database to anything that doesn't work, isn't proven. So you'll have to do that. Now, market research. So you can go to Google or ChatGPT and do some market research. You want to search in your niche market and find people who have similar products to yours, but not exactly the same. You want them to be complementary. Like if somebody did this, if somebody, let's say in my case was somebody that helped people create a book, then great. Now I would help you put together a whole brand, lead generation, a marketing funnel, and a course that go with that book, right? So we would be a perfect partnership. And then you want to take a look at their sales style, their sales letters, opt-in methods, and overall approach to the marketplace. You want to make sure that, of course, they have those elements in place that indicate to you that they have built a list. And then you want to make sure that their philosophy matches yours. Now, once you have done this, you want to review and act on the data that you've collected. So you're going to decide who you would be interested in joint venturing with. And again, you can select more than one person, but remember in the beginning, focus on just one, select one, and really kind of run with that as a pilot project. You want to contact that person with a personalized email that tells them about you, asks if there's anything you can do for them. Notice you're not starting off with, hey, I found you in LinkedIn and I think you would be a great partner to sell my program. Let's connect, right? No, you're going to reach out and say, hey, I noticed we're in this similar industry. How can I help you? Reciprocity is the most effective way to get joint venture partners because chances are they have hundreds of offers just like yours. And you want to offer to send them a free copy of the product that you're interested in them promoting, and then show them the sales copy and the conversion numbers. Remember, they're always going to want to see that. Now, the other way is to attend live networking events. So the most powerful joint venture relationships you will ever build are the ones that you have met face to face. So whatever the industry you are selling to, you need to create relationships with people you can cross market with. And then you can contact them by email. They will remember you, and it will be far more apt to open and pay attention if they met you in person. And for me, this is the most successful action that I have done. In fact, every year in January, you can go to quantumleapcruise.com and check it out. Every year there is a kind of an internet marketers cruise of over 400 joint venture partners, ranging from the top of the food chain all the way down to newbies. Right? Which means you're brand new and you just want to start to meet some people that could be a future for you. So no matter where you are, that is amazing, because 7 days in an environment where you're all talking about partnerships, you can accelerate your year like that. It's just absolutely incredible, and one of the best things that I can recommend. Then you want to look at your peers, and because it's not all about that top guru. So if you're a newcomer with a brand new idea or product, you have no statistics, but you're sure your product's going to be great, you do not go running up to the guy with the biggest list and say, hey, my product's awesome. You should sell it. You can make a lot of money. They're not interested in that at all. And so the thing you want to do is avoid that JV slap, because remember, it's all about you saying to them, how can I help you first? But this is a reminder about, there's a lot of people around you, smaller lists, smaller communities, that your peers, where you can join forces with them, or you can even do that joint venture relationship on a nice baby small scale when you're just starting out. And it's good for both of you. That person with maybe a small list can test it out, and you can, of course, get maybe those statistics, because a smaller person may not require all the statistics. They may be interested in doing a test as well. So this is a great place to start. And then you start to move up that food chain. Then you have the statistics. Then you've tweaked your presentation. You've tweaked your sales page. You've played with different pricing, perhaps, and then you have it all solid for when you do start to connect and build those relationships. And then, of course, there is social media. Holy mackerel. You can go onto Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube, plus others. You can have as part of your signature or closes in your posts, P.S. I'm looking for JV partners. Great commissions, great product. Find out more at, and have a link, and where you'd have a page that's talking about joint venture partnership relationships. It could list your commissions. It could say how it all unfolds. You could tell them that you're available for webinars. Here's the normal statistics, things of that nature. And then so it's like this one hit. And then simply by being there, posting, you're building a relationship with others. And who, when they ask, they're very likely to give you that helping hand simply because they've been seeing you. And of course, there are tons of JV groups. That's all you have to search for in LinkedIn and Facebook, or joint venture partners, or JV communities, that type of thing. And you can join those and start to get active to the point where somebody says, hey, or you even can say, in those communities, they're much more open to you just simply reaching out and saying, we should do this. And JV brokers. These are for the bigger players, right? So the person called a JV broker that matches your products and services to a suitable partner, right? Now, why do they do this? They're going to work on a percentage of the overall sales, and it's a big one. It's usually around 15%. So you better be sure of this moment. And if you want to find some, you can type in JV broker in Google, and the names will start appearing from various recommendations on forums and what is good for what niche. And last but not least, there is affiliate community options. So let's say you don't want to go through all of the steps of to nurture a relationship with a joint venture partner. You can go to jvzoo.com and you can simply find affiliates that are there. You can go to warriorplus.com, find affiliates that are there. You can go to clickbank.com. They are the largest affiliate marketing network. They have all sorts of ranges of products. Shareasale.com and cj.com used to be Commission Junction. And so all of these are just powerful communities of affiliates waiting to find a product that they can promote, or that their product can be promoted, just like you would be searching for. Are you ready for your next step? I'm inviting you to join me in my Message to Millions mentoring program. This is about a transformation, moving you towards your purpose-driven goals, aligning your activities, helping you stay focused on strategies that accomplish 3 objectives: increase your income, increase your influence, help you build a legacy and freedom lifestyle. You can get more details at messagetomillionsmastermind.com. If you're ready to go for your next step, schedule a call with me, and I'll help you choose a program that will fit your budget and ensure you can accomplish your goals for self and business. And the main issue for every business is you can't read the label from inside the jar. And this can produce gaps that are causing you to lose prospects, time, money, and opportunity. I created a 20-question quiz called Find the Gap that reveals for your business the major issues that will cause a problem in your growth. To take that quiz and get the results exactly for your business, go to fastfixmarketing.com. I look forward to continuing to be a part of your journey to financial freedom.